Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. In this video, we will learn how to create a simple MATLAB application using App Designer step by step from scratch. We start by downloading a pre-prepared function that I have already downloaded and extracted into this folder. We can check it in MATLAB to see the structure. It consists of a script file and a function. Let's take a look at how it's written. There are various examples and problem sets with parameters that have been predefined and passed to the function as inputs. The function is called and analyses are performed. If we run this function, this section, the function is invoked and uh, its output is displayed. We can see in workspace the function saves several variables and presents the results in the command window, along with a plot displaying the mode shapes. You can see mode shapes. It shows torsional nodes and the frequency of each node, each mode. For example, the frequency of the force mode was 44 Hertz. This is the core function we get, which gets parameters of the system, in this case a rotor shaft, and there is one or two of auxiliary functions here. Now let's move on to the MATLAB App Designer. MATLAB App Designer. By clicking here, we open the environment of MATLAB App Designer. It will start from a blank page, and we have a space where we can design everything and anything we want. Let's recall the function we are working with. We need three parameters from the user: the base frequency, the inertia constant of the components on the shaft, and the spring stiffness between the components. These three parameters will allow us to perform the analysis. Well, now we are ready to start designing our app. We can put a name for this page, something like my first app. My first app. Here we can change the text properties such as font size and something. Okay, my first app. Well, we were supposed to receive the frequency, inertia constant, and stiffness coefficient from the user. So to receive input from the user, we use an edit field option. And we can use this one for text input, which offers a generic, more flexible option. Well, I will name this field FB, which stands for base frequency. And we can see that is object has been created and added to this list of application components, a field called FB. We can modify or hide the default label of this field if we want. And after make it hidden, we can add a label and write base frequency. For the user to we write it for the user to enter base frequency. This field can be empty or we can assign a default value for it. Based on the first problem example, I put 60 Hz as the default value. The next one, inertia constant of the components. We can write h here and it's just fine. And after that we need spring stiffness. Again, we can assign default values based on problem 1. Using Ctrl plus V, we can paste here. Again, for stiffness, okay. After adjusting these fields, we need a button to trigger the analysis. A button. Let's label this button appropriately, like start. Now the interface of our app is complete. We can add additional text or links to further personalize the app. You can write your name or you can use hyperlink to refer to your website or profile. But for now, let's focus on making the app functional. When the start button is pressed, the analysis should be triggered. Let's review what we have. An edit field named FB, next one named H, and the last one named stiffness. Now, how to make the start button functional? We hover over this list here and right-click on the Start button and assign a callback function to this object. This will allow us to run the necessary commands when the button is pressed. Let me remove the value of the button that is unnecessary. Now, when the button is pressed, we must read these values and store each one in a variable and use the function to perform the analysis. But how we can use a pre-prepared MATLAB function here in application? To use functions that have already been written, we can easily add private function and paste our functions here. So we have functions already written here, and this file itself contains 3 functions. We can copy all 3 functions together and paste them, copy and paste them here. Okay, well, now we can use these functions inside our application code. And we should add the word app as the first argument of these functions. Okay, app, not difficult. Now let's return to the section where pressing the button is concerned. Now we define a variable like FB for base frequency. This variable must have the value entered by the user here as the base frequency in hertz. But how should the value of this variable be equal to this variable? I have to read this variable. The number entered by the user is equal to the value of this field, FB edit field. So we can write app.fb edit field dot value. Is it true? No, there is a mistake here. The mistake is that this field is of text type, and we have now used the text value of this field, not a number. This problem is simply solvable using the str2num function for each parameter. We can use this function to convert text type to number or matrix type, and the same way for inertia constant and stiffness. Which field this time? H edit field. So app.hEditField.value. And our next variable, stiffness, str2num app dot stiffness edit field dot value. And using this str to num function, we can convert text to a matrix or vector, and it's okay. Now that the variables are defined and the functions have been added, all that remains to be done is called the main function. We call the main function frequency, inertia constant, and stiffness. Everything looks okay so far, so we can save the project in its folder. And where is it? Okay, saved. Now let's return to the design view and run. So the application is now created, and the start button, what happened? We have an error. Why? Okay, because I had accidentally clicked here a few minutes earlier, which interrupts the program. And by removing it and save. Okay, now the analysis runs smoothly. The results are stored as variables in the workspace here and displayed in the command window. Let me clear the workspace and command window to test it again. Where is my app? Start again. And the results are displayed just as expected. As simple as that. I hope you found this video helpful. Good luck and thank you for watching.